Content presented in Cheshire Corners is for educational and informational purposes only. Please consult a legal professional if you have any questions or concerns about the content of this disclaimer, this series, or the legal implications surrounding psychedelic substances in your jurisdiction.
Hello. Hi, everybody. We at the Psychedelic Science conference.
So together with you, here we are today, stewarding a psychedelic commons.
So we're a nonprofit organization, and we provide education, community, events in Colorado, live, in person, around the responsible use of psychedelics, and also a place for just people to learn about legislation, how to use psychedelics safely, friendship, community. It's all about connection.
I'm going to begin in our traditional way with prayer. Welcome, Tukashima. Unchi Maka. Mel Ushia Milo. Nia Chekiaki when Mita Oyate na Ake Toka Oyata Pi. Wa Chekiaki Pi Wanchi na Fi Waka. Ake Pejuta Wakana Bila Palamiano Tukashima. Wa Chekiaki Oyate Ki Ohula na Chante Washte Yellow. Ake Wachi Waksapi Oyate Midako Oyasi. I prayed for you. I prayed for all the people, everybody. And I pray that you have a good clear mind in these next 2 days and a strong heart.
Well, hello, Cheshire Corners.
Yeah.
So I'm James Garvey with Compassion Center. I'm one of the psychedelic researchers underneath the Syndicated Investigators Delving into Hallucinogens Ethically Institute, or the SHE Institute, which is Gaelic for fairy. Compassion Center is the oldest federally recognized medical marijuana clinic system in the country.
Psychedelic Science Conference 2025, and we again with Christine here.
Well, end-of-life psychedelic care is important for everybody because guess what? We all do. And I think psychedelics has the ability to really help us come to terms with our things. When I think about the longer-term vision, I think, we as a society need to bring back to a sacred journey.
How about that? We are excited here in Colorado about the opportunities for natural medicines, the conversations you're going to be having, rediscovering indigenous knowledge and ways in which we can help people live as their best authentic selves.
Hi, I'm Andrea. We are Mycro Drops. We are a functional mushroom and adaptogen company. We also have a private microdosing club on Patreon. So we work with Ayurvedic style formulas as well as legal entheogens like Amanita and Blue Lotus, and we have some really unique formulations you won't find anywhere else. Come visit us.
Good luck, everybody in psychedelics. And I got in 2009 as an edibles company. And as I said, when I started, I was 6'3". And if you can stand the heat, you can stay in the kitchen.
DanceSafe is a nonprofit organization that's been around since the late 90s. We are best known for testing recreational drugs for fake drugs. Test before you ingest. It's really important that you know your dose.
Well, Paul Stamets has a new book out, June 10th. It just dropped. But yeah, Fungi Perfecti has been around since 1980, the longest certified organic mushroom farm in the nation, owned and operated by Paul Stamets.
Yeah, you got to eat it, right?
Yeah.
We're a 12-step recovery program for people who are interested in or currently using psychedelics as part of their healing journey.
That's interesting. More interesting, perhaps, is the story of Isis and Osiris, two Egyptian gods with brothers and sisters, husbands and wives. it was different back then.
Now a psychedelic study involving psilocybin with religious leaders. Good morning, I am Marie Collier. I'm a neurologist, epileptologist, integrative medicine doctor, and palliative care physician here in Denver, Colorado at the Psychedelic Science 2025 conference. Just attended an amazing workshop with Bill Richards and Tony Bossi, some giants in the field of psychedelic science research, particularly looking at the study they did following up on the Good Friday experiment from the 1950s.
I had no idea what psilocybin was. I was selected this little basement room in a clinic in American and then given an injection to see if it might give some childhood memories. I've never been quite the same since.
Zendo project is a sitting and integration safe space that focuses on harm reduction with psychedelic use. We'll sit with you and accompany you on your journeys.
Yes, I'm Steve Frye with Old Mushroom Superfoods. We're a functional mushroom grower in Southern California, Vista, California. We grow 10 different species of functional mushrooms. They're magic, not in a psychedelic sense, but in a healing, integrative sense. And our message is, make spores, not wars.
Well, hey guys, this is Zach Wayne, founder of Psilocybin Church, coming to you live from the 2025 Psychedelic Science Fair here in Denver, Colorado at the Colorado Convention Center.
As a Jew, called to my ancestral medicines, I've been on a deep journey in chasing different psychoactive plants in the region and in the Torah. I was thrilled to discover my favorite plant, cannabis, Kinevosin, is mentioned in the Torah. And it's not only mentioned in the Torah, it was found just outside of Jerusalem in a Jewish ritual altar from 800 BCE.
This is imago relationship therapy using low-dose psycholytic, or what we call relational dose ketamine, as a lubricant to the process. And what you need to understand is the qualitative results, what people say. Ketamine makes you take your mask off. Ketamine reduces my inhibitions. I'm more likely to just say whatever comes up. It helps people be more natural.
So it's not just like creativity like per se, but it's like if a person has a personality which allows them to be more creative. And what we found is that people had a more creative personality in the groups which use psychedelics.
Cheshire Corners.
So you'll be able to see yourself
sick.
right here.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. So my name is Will Webb. I'm a coach with Heroic Hearts Project. So I help veterans prepare for and integrate from psychedelic retreats, mostly internationally. So a lot of the retreats are ayahuasca focused, and then recently we've been doing domestic retreats too. So psilocybin in Oregon, and hopefully Colorado soon.
Okay, so here we are introducing a new framework for collecting language data as a way of remote monitoring of our participants. So this is a framework that we're going to implement into many studies, but this is the first one that's been completed. What it means is that we have a mobile phone app, and it reminds our participants to record voice note journals and speak for 1 minute every day for several days before and after the experience. And then we look at the changes.
If we think we're just little eagles scattering around the world, as most of us have, we're really underestimating who we are. We're really in Celtic language, we're estranged from the ground of being. We think we're isolated and alone, but we're really not. We are all interconnected.
We opened a psychedelic library and community center in Manhattan.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, so there's some photos from it. Like, we've hosted over 200 public-facing events.
Sandoz is mostly known as the birthplace of LSD.
because it was in the Sandoz laboratories where Albert Hofmann discovered LSD. But Sandoz also produced psychedelic films in the 1950s and 60s.
I work at one of the larger Spravato clinics in Southern California. We see a lot of low-income patients, a lot of patients who are on public insurance, Medicaid, Medicare, and aren't able to afford therapy in addition to their ketamine treatments. So we all know a big part of ketamine is what else are you doing day to day? How are you integrating it? What thoughts are you putting into your brain?
A través del umbral no hay soledad. Across the threshold, there's no loneliness.
My name is Josh Lipson. Just finished up my PhD in clinical psychology at Columbia University, modeling the diverse trajectories of psychedelic occasion mystical experiences. So it all starts with the question of why is there not just one psychedelic experience?
Find Your Center is our company's slogan. MushMaps is a platform connecting practitioners, centers, events, and training in an accessible manner where there's transparency in the market. You're not going to be deplatformed by some kind of social media company that's not letting you just freely explain information about entheogens.
What we concentrate on is literally Mycology 101. Basically the fundamentals of growing mushroom. We go from spore, agar, to liquid culture, to what kind of grain that you go, what the purpose of each grain is and what it serves, down to your substrate, and then a few different types and styles of growing, and then cultivating and drying, and ultimately consuming.
Magic, 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 magic. I got the magic.
2,200 milligrams of lion's mane, highly concentrated, and all the ingredients are nano-emulsified. So we break down all the particles into tiny particles to increase the bioavailability so your body can absorb all the ingredients very fast.
CIS is a university in California, and we have master's and PhD programs and also bachelor's completion programs, and we also have a certificate in psychedelic assisted therapies and research.
We're trying to deal with the collective trauma through individuals. We know that the region and the people are in a state of ongoing collective trauma, and that's been going for decades and through generations.
We are an ecosystem for 5-MeO-DMT. It's the molecule that we primarily work with. So first we have our flagship retreat center, Tindalva, which is in Tepoztlan, Mexico, where we do safe and effective 5-MeO retreats that are personalized, individualized. And we also have an education platform called F.I.V.E, which we do facilitator trainings. We train researchers, therapists, and medical professionals how to work with 5-MeO safely and effectively.
I am a volunteer for the Portland Psychedelic Society. We have over 20 events every month. Primarily they're peer and facilitator supported integration groups. We have facilitators and integration coaches that play a role in facilitating most of the support events.
And so part of the reason why we switched from ayahuasca to DNC is because DNC brought at least the principle, that perspective of being a good model for a clinical practice world health system.
This is PATA, the Psilocybin Assisted Therapy Association. It's a nonprofit that works to educate both clients as well as clinicians on how to talk about and decide whether or not psychedelic therapy is right for you.
We're gonna do a podcast.
Oh, we'll do a podcast. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
will you ask me questions? Number one, I'm very excited about all of the movements in the psychedelic realm. The fact that we're having these conversations more in the open, that it's coming out of the shadows of, either mythologizing and saying that this is some kind of crazy mystical experience that is devoid of anything that relates to real life. That's a win. So I appreciate that we have a legal framework. I was the first licensed facilitator in the United States. So I'm really right
She's
there.
the first licensed facilitator in the United States.
What's up, everybody? We're at PsyCon today, just having some fun. We brought the new machine, the mushroom machine, that is. Just met the homies over here at Cheshire, just trying to hang. Jacob Marlega.
Yeah.
Are you one of Denver's mushroom growers?
Sadly. No, not sadly. Yeah, no, we know what's up. Yeah, we're growing. You tell them about the grow at the house.
I started to, but then he gave me this and I started having a lot of fun, so.
30-foot tall psychedelic mushroom grow, completely legal on a residential property. Senate Bill 23290 approved.
This is not Leonard Picard. I was looking for the first person with antenna, and you are it. Yeah, we met before at the when you spoke at for the Psychedelic Club in Denver. Oh yes, the club here a couple of months ago. It was a really good evening. Yeah. I love your antenna.
Hi, so we're Shroomski Magazine, located out of Denver, Colorado. We produce magazines quarterly. I like to tell people we're kind of like sort of like the high times of psychedelics.
So Mamoru is a healing center located in Boulder, Colorado. We are inheriting Neuropa's program that they recently had to scuttle. So we're providing training for psychedelic-assisted therapists as well as clinical practice for patients and some research development. The space is also available as a kind of general purpose healing center too for retreats and group sessions, things like that.
I'm with Clusterbusters. We're an advocacy group for cluster headaches. We deal with general advocacy for the disorder, as well as we've been involved with some research for psilocybin's effectiveness on treating cluster headaches and recently discovering migraine headache efficacy, which is a little bit earlier. We were involved in a study at Yale on the efficacy of psilocybin for cluster headaches.
So we've seen a lot of controversy in this industry, and one of the questions that we get asked over and over again is about addiction. And I would like it if maybe Dr. Ross could address that. Is addiction even the right word? Is it problematic use? Is it chemical dependence? Where does this lie on the addiction scale, if I had to use a phrase?
I run training for plant medicine to facilitators. We specialize in authentic traditional medicine coming from practices from either Mexico or South America. Yeah, very ceremonial, rooted in tradition, with a lot of reverence and integrity.
I've had the great honor to work with an incredible variety of species with different psychedelic substances, different dose levels.
What do you do? I am a psychedelic facilitator and integration specialist. Oh, Here in hello there. Colorado. I am actually not in Colorado. We are in Oklahoma, and we are doing the work to provide the medicine where we can.
We're an online art collective started by the visionary artist Amanda Sage, and we've been 24/7 on Zoom for 5 years now. And this next iteration, we're starting to meet in person. And our mission is to spread the awesomeness and gathering creatives all over the world, outside of borders and cultures. We all come together in, the common humanness that we all have. We're just spreading this mission of love, doing a better world,
Neuropa was founded in 1974 by a Tibetan monk named Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche, and he really valued Western academics as well as Eastern wisdom traditions, and so he put this university together, which kind of integrates both heart and mind together in all of its studies.
So
I work for a company called Trip. We do an amazing app in both virtual reality and on your smartphone, TRIPP, and it's wellness and meditation like you've never experienced it. And what we're showing here specifically is Naropa holds the Ram Dass archives, which is just a wealth of incredible archival, footage and audio of his teachings and his life. And so we worked with them to find a story that we could bring to life in virtual reality, where you get to kind of have a one-on-one, intimate teaching from Ram Dass. And it ends with a meditation that he leads, and it's transcendent. It's really beautiful. We're very proud of it, and showing it off here to anyone who can sit down for 7 minutes.
This is Crescendo Research. We make vibrating beds. It's vibroacoustic technology, so it allows you to feel your music and your audio. It's an open system. You can play any music through it. You can play live instruments through it.
We're from the NOAC Society. We are a Colorado-based nonprofit. We host psychedelic professional meetup groups throughout Colorado. Denver, Boulder, Fort Collins, Colorado Springs. We also hosted the Colorado Welcome Party last night. And we did psychedelic drag speed friending. Had a bunch of people come out. It was an amazing event. And we are a nonprofit dedicated to giving voice to the pressing issues and essential values of the psychedelic movement within Colorado.
We're the Chakruta Institute of Psychedelic Plant Medicine. We're a nonprofit organization focused on indigenous reciprocity and psychedelic justice, trying to ensure that as the psychedelic movement grows, that the lineage holders, the wisdom lineage holders that have been working with psychedelic medicines for thousands of years are remembered, and that there is a reciprocity in this space.
Being here at this conference was a little bit of incredibly reassuring at the way in which we have so many different generations, so many different cultures, so many different people from all different communities all working together. And it's clear that the vision that we have is really going to take our lifetimes and lifetimes beyond that.
My name's Daniel. I'm with the Center for Medicinal Mindfulness, and I'm a psychedelic guide. I work with cannabis, DMT, mushrooms, and ketamine. We have a training center in Boulder, Colorado. I'm really happy to be here at MAPS and having a good time.
Yeah, my name's Allison McQueen. I'm a licensed professional counselor. I'm also a board-certified art therapist, and I run a psychedelic therapy clinic in Boulder, Colorado.
Heather Love. I'm based out of Montana, and I've been a nurse since 2011. I taught nursing at the university and then fell into psychedelics. So I went to Naropa, met Carrie there, and so I work in the ketamine space in Montana right now, but I run a nonprofit that helps make these treatments accessible for people that don't have the finances to afford them.
I was born in the Zoroastrian family in Iran, and the Zoroastrianism, for those of you that don't know, is a long lineage, is probably longest history, but the reason we call it Zoroastrianism and we know about it is Zarathustra himself. Actually, Zarathustra.
The Chapel of Sacred Mirrors, run by Alex and Allison Gray, is a place to discover the creative spirit within.
Hi, I'm TJ Squires, and I work at Cosm Chapel of Sacred Mirrors. And what's this about? What are we doing here?
Psychedelic podcast.
Okay, sweet. What's your channel?
Yeah,
okay, cool. Hell yeah. Yeah, this is Cosm. It's founded by Alex Gray and Allison Gray, and we're a 501c3 nonprofit organization that believes in creativity as a spiritual path.
Hello, welcome. We are live at Psychedelic Science 2025. This is the Prati booth, Psychedelic Research and Training Institute. Music is a big part of what we do. Jason and I collaborate on teaching about music and curating playlists to support psychedelic experiences and journeys and clinical, like the music to support your work with clients. And so you can go on Spotify, it's Prati Music, on Spotify, and you can check out our playlist there. We have some beautiful offerings there, so I encourage people to do that. Connect with us, pratigroup.org, and yeah, we hope to stay in touch with everyone. Anything else? Last words?
Blessings.
Blessings.
Crystal like falling down a rabbit hole. She would open her home and invite guests, and was just tireless in her pursuit of furthering the cause to elevate humanity and creativity.
How does it work when you offer these powerful medicines that have in some cases been tested in well-controlled clinical trials? How does it look when you put them in the community, right?
All right, so I'm Carolyn, and I'm working with the Psychedelic Providers Network. We're a content and training hub that aggregates research, news, training, articles.
Eu venho da Amazônia brasileira.
I come from the Brazilian Amazon.
Eu sou do povo Yawanawá.
I'm from the Yawanawa people.
Meu nome é Nishiwaka.
My name is Nishiwaka.
A planta.
The plant.
Sagrada.
The sacred plant.
Ayahuasca. Da água.
And from the water.
Esse é o nome que meus avós me deram.
That's the name that my grandparents gave me.
Eu tenho o nome da planta.
I have the name of that plant.
In the middle of that, collecting real-world data of people going through psychedelic therapy so that we can see what's going on and not just rely on anecdotes to try to push policy and the world forward in this way, but to actually get data to back that up.
It's a wellness center. We're an integrated mental health clinic that offers conventional psychiatry, functional medicine, psychedelic services, and we also do objective testing. So we do brain mapping and blood and urine biomarkers to help guide treatment. The psychedelic piece, so our Healing Center license should be approved this week.
Candy with Psychedelic Convention, and we're going to be back in Denver in April 2026.
You get super, super relaxed, almost so much you feel like you're being hugged by your loving grandma or you're basking in divine love.
We're Rocky Mountain Poison and Drug Safety, and we do what's called post-marketing surveillance.
Hi, my name is Greg Matthews. I'm here with Triptomics, a natural medicine testing laboratory based in Colorado.
Psychedelics in some ways can help us reconnect with these dimensions. Thank you.
That was a brilliantly scientific rundown on that, Tommaso. So I'll make it very simple. Because it's fun. Because it makes you feel good. Because it connects you to your body as other people.
I'm Ian Bollinger. I work with psilocybin mushroom and have been testing for over 5 years now. I'm at MAPS 2025 Expo Hall and currently working with Triptomics, one of the best testing labs I've had the opportunity to collaborate with.
My name is Guillermina Magana. I'm the marketing specialist at Vicenta LLP. We specialize in cannabis and psychedelics law and policy, headquartered in Denver, but we have offices nationwide.
So we're Ballard Mines. We are a veteran-based company. Troy and I were in the Marine Corps, and we deployed to Afghanistan twice. And we're trying to help out veterans to get support and be reintegrated to society.
Western culture kind of had DMT introduced in 1931 when our great 51st State to the North friends, Richard Mansky, synthesized DMT. And around this time also, what was happening was people were starting to appreciate that there was activity in mammalian tissues that can take dietary tryptophan to an enzyme for tryptamine.
So we provide a lot of opportunities for networking for young professionals, skill building workshops. We also offer mentorship program, which we're building out right now.
Cheshire Corners. Very nice to meet you guys. Yeah, we're Psychedelics. We're a global cyber city community support hub, a directory listing.
Mitigating a tax code penalty called 280E for trafficking businesses, and psilocybin, of course, is a trafficking business. We work with the first service centers in Oregon.
Aw, see, you're beautiful.
Beautiful.
Good to see you.
We love it. Thank you.
My name is Madeline McElwain. I am a board member and interim executive director of the Psychedelic Bar Association. I've been in drug policy reform in the psychedelic space for over a decade now, which is really wild to think about.
It's about kind of getting Stan Groff's work out there in the world and getting people trained in that, as you might guess from the name. Yeah!
Chezard, you with us!